everyone, this is the video on the topic list in Python, and this is the second video for class 11 students on the topic list. Now, in the last video, we have already discussed about the list, how to define a list, how to work with a list, how many types are possible, like a null list. It can be a list which is combination of heterogeneous data types. Now we are going to discuss about few more things, like few more functions on a list. Now before going to discuss about it, we will discuss about the what is a list and a just normal recap of our previous class. So the list is a heterogeneous data collection. Like here we can store different type of data elements together. Now it can be a null, or list is mutable. That means at any point of time, at any point of time you can delete any data element, or you can add or change any data element of a list. That is why it is a mutable list. Like list is mutable. Now as we know that we can use that comparison operator on a list. The comparison operators are greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and equal to. And we also know that whenever we are going to use some comparison operator on some elements, then it will either return you true, otherwise return you false. Now I'm going to apply some comparison operator. Now I'm going to define a list named as list1, where I'm going to define that hello and bracket close. It's a list. Next, list2, I'm going to define just by putting that H in capital. The same word I have written, but I have just given two characters separately. That first in list1 I have given that H in small, and in case of list2 I have given that H is capital. Now if I try to compare whether list1 is greater than or less than whatever is list2 or not. So what do you think? What will be the answer? As in case of string, what happened that it will take the first two character and it will compare the ASCII of that two character, and what has the maximum ASCII, it will return the, like it will compare that value as the maximum one. So what I want to say that it will compare that small h with capital H, and we all know that the ASCII of small h is higher than the capital H. So list1 will be what I'll say that it will be considered as the bigger number than list2. So let me just check what will happen. So as I have written, list1 is greater than list2, so absolutely it will be true, because small h is having greater ASCII value than capital H. So like that way you can also do, like if it is a number type list, say let me just define to list which is number type like 1, 2, 3 and 4, say 4, and another one is list2, I'm going to define that is also 1, 1, 2, 3 and 5. So what do you think? What it will return? Which one is greater? So of course, as we are understanding that list2 is greater, so first it will compare the first three letters and it will see that both are same. So it will go directly to the fourth one and it will get that 5 is greater. Of course, that means the list2 is greater than list1. Now if I consider this line again, I'm just going to copy and paste it over here. So according to me, the answer should be false, and I'm getting the answer as false. So these are the use of comparison operator on a list. Then after, you can do few more operations on list. It can be concatenation, it can be repetition, it can be membership testing, it can be slicing or indexing. So let us start with the concatenation program. So concatenation means adding the second list at the end of the first list. So if I write that list1 plus list2, so see, if you can see, the list 2 is already added just after the list 1. without having any kind of error. But that thing is not stored anywhere. If you print list 1 now, it will print only 1 2 3 4. If you print list 2 now, it will print 1 2 3 5. But it has concatenated. To store it to some other list type variable, you just need to write that say L3 is equal to this, and then after if you start printing L3, then it is stored in some other variable named as L3. Next we are going to do that repetition function. That is, if I write that list 1 asterisk 3, what it will do, it will just multiply the element of list 1 3 times. As you can see, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and 1 2 3 4, it is coming 3 sets. This is the purpose when you will use the asterisk signs and you want the repetition. I think up to this point it is absolutely clear to you all. So I would request you all to do practice these things in your machine also. Download Python in your machine and start practicing it all. Because other than practicing, you will not understand how it will look, like how it will work. Then after we'll start with the membership function. So what is that membership function? Membership function is in and not in. So when a number is present in a list, it will return you true, otherwise it will return you false. Like if I write 2 in list 1, so what do you think, it will return you true or false? It will return me, of course, true, because 2 is present in list 1, so it was returning me true. So as you know that I'm just discussing this thing, that as we know that membership function are in and not in. So if the number is present, if you're using that in membership function, if the number is present, then only it will return you true, otherwise it will return you false. Now in case of not in, if a number is not present in a list, then only it will return you true, otherwise it will return you false. Now we will start with the indexing. Now let me open another IDLE so that I can discuss it with you properly. Yeah, here I have opened another one. So here I'm going to discuss about the indexing. Let me just define another list. 1 is equal to, so we did it in case of string. When we read string, we did that thing. So whenever you are assigning a variable in a list, it should maintain an index that is in let me just print it, list 1. Yeah, it will start from the 0 indexing and it will end at n minus 1. So the index of index of that 1 will be 0, index of that 2 will be 1, like that way it will continue till 7, because the index of that 8 will be 7. Now as we know, string maintain that negative indexing, like that way list also maintain the negative indexing. So in case of negative indexing, it will start from -8. Why? Because you have total 8 element in that list. So it will start from -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. So as of now, if I try to print -2, according to me it will print 7. Let me just check. Yeah, it is printing 7. So list also maintain two type of indexing. One is positive indexing, another one is negative indexing. Now we will do that slicing operation. Slicing operation basically piece down, like chop down your list into small pieces. Like the pattern of writing is your list name. Then after, within the third bracket, we'll give the starting index. Then after, we'll give the ending index and the step, and it all will write within the colon. Like everything you will write within the third bracket using the colon. Now here my list name is list 1. So if I write it, I'll start from 0th index, I'll continue till 7th index, and I'm not going to give any kind of step. Then by default the step size will be 1, so it will print the entire list up to 6. It will start from 0 and up to 6th index it will print everything. Now if you want to give the step size, now let me just give the step size as 2. Sorry, yeah. So it will print the step size, like it will jump a letter and it will print. It will jump a letter and it will print 1, 3, 5 and 7. It will print. Now if you forgot, like if you have not given the, let me just copy and paste it. Now I forgot to give the initial index and I don't want to give the step size. So what it will do? In that case also it will start from the 0 index. So if you are not giving the starting index, it will be considered from the 0th index. And if you are not giving the ending index, let me just write it 3, and you are not giving any kind of ending index, then also it will start from the that given index and it will continue till the end of your list. So it has started from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now these are the things what we have to discuss in case of slicing of a list. Now we will do some built-in function in list. So first what comes in our mind is append. Append is a function by which you can actually append a single variable, a single element or single item to your list. Like I have a list up to 8, so if I want to append something like list 1 dot append, and within that first bracket I'm going to give the value as 9. Let me close the bracket and enter. Now I'm going to print the list 1. Okay, now you may ask, why am I not using that concatenation? Why will I use that append function? Because in case of concatenation, if you can see it, in case of concatenation, what is it is showing that if you are concatenating two separate lists and if you are not storing it anywhere, it will not going to directly affect your actual list, because the value will not going to hamper your actual list. But if you want to update your own list, then you have to use that append function. That append function is the thing which can only make changes in your own list. The original list it will change. Next is extend function. Extend function is like list 1 dot extend, within first bracket I'm going to write what I'll write, say 10 and 20, 10 and 20. I'm going to write bracket close, enter, and done. I'm going to print list 1. Yeah, it is added. 10 and 20 is added. So what is the difference between that extend and append? Both are doing the same task. But the problem is, if you want to add a single element, you can use that append function very easily. It will not going to hamper anything. But if you are trying to add more than one element at a time in your list, then append will not going to work. For that you have to write the same statement again and again and again for different elements. So if you have all the element, why not using extend? So by using extend, you can do the task very easily. Now one more function is there, that is the insert function. Now my job is to, like, whatever I am using till now, whether it is concatenation, whether it is append, whether it is extend, it is just adding the element at the end. But I don't want it to be added at the end. I want it to be added at a normal given position. Let me just assign another one. Yeah, it is open. So I want to open, like I am just going to create L1 is equal to, within the bracket, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Done. So I want to add a element at the position this, like after 2 I want to add H. For that, how can I insert? Like whatever function we are using till now, it is just adding the element at the end. So I want it to be at a specific position. For that, you need to use that insert function. So insert function is a function which will take two argument. As you can see, both first argument is the index and the second argument is the object. So If I want to add after 2, the index will be 1, 2 and 0, 1 and 2. So at this second index, I will add the element h. Done. If you can see L1, you will be able to see that it is already added. After 1 and 2, the h is already added. These are the thing in case of you can do. If you want to add an element in a specific position, you can use that insert function. Other than this, you can use append. If you want to if you want to add a single element, you can use extend. If you want to insert more than one element at the end. Next is reverse. The purpose of the reverse function, it will just reverse the element. So how can we reverse the element? Like I'll write the list name and then after I'll write reverse and bracket open and bracket close, done. So I'll print it L1 and it is already reversed. So reverse is the inbuilt function which will reverse the element of your list. Next is index. So if you want to find the index of any variable which is stored in your list, that also you can do, like L1 dot index of 3. Yeah, it is 1 because the index of 4 is 0 and index of 3 is 1. That also you can do by using that index function. Now one more question I have. Let me just define another list 2. I'm just going to write, just to make it simple, I'm going to write L2 which is having 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 again comma 2 comma 3 and then again 4 and bracket close. So if I want to again search the same element, like I want to find the index of 3 over here in list 2. So what do you think? What it will return? Because you have 2, 3 in that list. So it will return the first searched element address. So it will start searching your list from the beginning. Where the first search will meet, it will return that address only. That is why it is returning you the second address, because it is 0, 1 and 2. Now then after you can do the length operation, and by the time we have very much familiar with the length operation, that is length of within the first bracket you can use whatever list you want to use and it will return you the size of your list. And sort is another function which will sort your list in ascending order by default. Like if I want to sort, because list 1 cannot be short, it is having a different type of data which is not matching with the other. So I'm going to sort list 2 dot sort bracket open and bracket close. If I now print list 2, it is sorted already. Now I want to sort it in a descending order. By default it is sorting in by default it will sort in a ascending order. I want to sort it in a descending order. So L2, I'll write L2 dot sort, within the bracket I'll write reverse is equal to true. Now let me just print L2. Yeah, it is showing you 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2 and 1. So after doing that, one more operation we can do, that is, yeah, if I can show it to you, will be easier for me. Yeah, here I want to do one more operation, that is clear operation. Now if you want to clear one list, how can you clear it? Now I want to clear that list 1. I want to clear that list 1. So what I'll write list 1 dot clear bracket open and bracket close, and list 1 is absolutely cleared. If you print that list 1 now, it will print nothing because all the element within that list has cleared. Now if you are using let me just store the value of list 1 like that way in some variable, or list 1 is already cleared, so I cannot use it. List 3 is there, so I just want to find out like how many 3's are there or how many 2's are there in a list. So how can I do this? So for that I am going to use the count function. The purpose of the count function is to count the elements, like the specific elements is how many times is there in your list. So if the element is 2, let me just check how many times it is there. So if you can see that answer is coming as 2, because 2, like in that list 3, 2 is 2 times only. No, so the purpose of the count function, it will count like how many times that the given specific element is there in the list. So next is deletion operation. So if you want to use, like if you want to delete any element from your list, as I have told you, it is mutable, so you can change it very easily. So that also you can do. So like from list 3, if you want to delete 4, that also you can do, but for that you have two separate operation. One is delete, another one is pop. So if you use pop function, let me just use it first. L3 dot pop, and then after I'll give the index. I'll give the index of the element. Like I want to delete that 3, or say 4 I want to delete. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So index will be 3. So it will return which element is deleted. Which element is deleted. Now if I print L3, it will print the entire list without 4. Now I am going to use that del function, which will going to delete. The task is already same. Here also I'm going to delete. So in syntax is like this: del L3, and after that within the bracket I'm going to give the index. That is, again I'm going to delete that 1. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3 again. Yeah, deleted. If you can see, it is also deleted. So what is the difference between that two functions, that pop and del? Both are doing the same task, but pop function will return which element is deleted, which your del function will not do. So if you want to see which function, like which element is deleted from your list, you can use pop function. And if you are not interested to see that which function, like which element is deleted from your list, you don't have to use that pop function. You can go for directly del function and it will work properly. Now this is it for the inbuilt function in list. That many functions what I have discussed over here, you can use in a list, and please do practice all these things. And in our upcoming video we'll discuss about few more sorting algorithm, and we'll do some sorting algorithm. Thank you so much for listening to this video and for your patience. Please stay safe, stay at home. We'll see you in our upcoming video, which will come to this challenge very soon.